What is up, guys? Welcome back. So today I want to talk about a topic that's kind of, it's gray and it's very difficult to give a concrete answer. I think everybody is going to have a different situation or a different approach to this. It's really going to involve kind of letting go of control and establishing a rule system that works for yourself. So I'm just going to tell you guys what I did and what helped me and what gives me peace to this day. And maybe you can get some inspiration from that and learn from that. You know what I mean? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Thanksgiving is coming up, guys. So I'm going to do a sale on my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. Use code TURKEY. It'll take $20 off. I'm going to put the link down below in the description and in the first pinned comment if you want to program something to work throughout the holidays that's going to help you get yourself back up on your feet and move towards recovery. Very extensive, tons of things packed into it. You can actually see the whole curriculum and everything that's included on that page. So check that out. Use code TURKEY. Okay, guys, so this is a very difficult question. If the question is, how do I know if it's anxiety or if it's something real? It's a very difficult question to answer because everybody's different. Everybody's having different symptoms and sensations. I'm not in your body. Now, have I probably felt most of the things that you have felt, during your journey? Yeah, because I had it for years and I've went through all the different cycles and stages and fears. I had tons of them. But I'm not in your body. Something that you're going to have to do eventually, which we'll get into in a second, is you have to have a set of rules for yourself when you feel something new and different. That's really right where it gets scary. Sure, we do have the same symptoms that do come back over and over again, but the idea is hopefully as we get reassurance from a doctor, we get testing, our acceptance starts to gradually get better. You know what I mean? But what happens when we feel something and experience something new, that's a real big challenge, and that's what kept this thing going for me. I would get past a certain set of symptoms and then I think I was all right, but since I didn't learn from all my old mistakes and I still would catastrophize, I still had this horrible fear of death and disease and sickness and illness. Whether I felt something from anxiety or if it was just a regular normal sensation, I would catastrophize. I'd Google, I'd assume the worst, obviously, and then I would make the symptom magnify and it would come back, and then I would have to do everything over again, go get more reassurance from a doctor, go get tested out and all that. So it's also very difficult when we experience new sensations. Everything's really scary when it's new. But guys, if you are struggling with acceptance, and let's just use chest pain, for instance. Okay, so what I'm going to say with that first, with any of these symptoms, we're just using chest pain as an example. Go get checked out as quickly as you can if you haven't. At least go to your primary physician in town, your in-town doctor, family doctor, whatever, somebody that you trust, that you've seen a few times, that knows you by your first name, and go in there and have a conversation about what you're feeling. Write everything down that you want to talk about so you don't forget something. If you're going to go see a specialist, write all your questions down so you can get all the reassurance that you need to get. But don't wait around a long time. Some of you've already waited a long time like I did. It doesn't matter. Go get checked out, okay? I'm just saying the longer that we wait, the harder it is to break the habit of these symptoms because they become a habit from our fearful responses and the energy that we give it, right? So let's say that this is my situation. It took me a couple months at least to go get checked out and get told, look, Trey, the whole thing where the doctor's chuckling, you basically have no chance of having a heart attack, Trey, and all this and all that. Then you go back home, you're like, oh, maybe he's, the doctor's probably right. I am being silly, right? I'm being silly. Maybe your acceptance spikes a little bit and then the chest pain comes back. You're like, oh my God, maybe they misdiagnosed me. Oh my gosh. So then you go back and now I'm getting the blood work and then the EKG. You come back home. You're like, all right, okay, they said I'm good. Man, and then my heart's taking off and I'm having numbness and tingling and my left arm starts to hurt, right? And then you're rushing to the ER and then you're going to a specialist. Speed all this stuff up, guys, and do it way faster than I did. That's what I would encourage you to do. If you're stuck in this vicious cycle of symptoms and there's another thing that you can do, just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do it and get it out of the way. If it's always going to be something that you are thinking about, maybe I should have done that, maybe I should, then go ahead and do it and get it out of the way. That way we can start fresh. Don't wait around. But it is very normal to go get checked out. I'm just going to say it's normal to go get checked out, from your primary doctor or an ER, and sometimes even go to a specialist, because I did this with a specialist too. and to still have symptoms when you come back home. Maybe you get an hour of peace, maybe you get 4 or 5 days or a week of peace, but the symptom is a habit. Don't think that, going to the doctor, some of you might get lucky, but going to the doctor after you've been fretting about, a headache, that magically your headache's just going to stop. It's already a habit from the time you open your eyes until you're lucky enough to fall asleep. So that's why that happens. Your subconscious is behind that doctor's appointment. You see what I'm saying? Now it's our job to take the information that the doctor said and to, turn it into acceptance consciously, and then give our subconscious a reason to stop giving us these symptoms by displaying safety, and by not Googling, and by not pushing and poking and prodding and giving negative, fearful attention to that area, or avoidance, and, all the bad things that we do. We have to stop those things too. And then eventually the subconscious is like, all right. So that's how that process works whenever it comes down to, getting your reassurance from the doctor and why are you still having symptoms. You're not alone when it comes to that. But do everything that you got to do now, okay? The idea is that we want to get past this set of symptoms, work on our life, right? I mentioned my course earlier with the coupon code. All that stuff in that course is what's going to help you keep this away. That's the stuff that you have to do in the background. So many of you are living from symptom to symptom to cancer to disease, right? And you're not putting in the real work. I get it. It's hard to do all those things when you're worried about, death and sickness all the time. I get it. But it's a must. That's why you just go from one thing to another, which is what I did. Which brings me again to, what happens when you feel something new, right? So I'm going to give you a few things, okay? And again, I can't force you to do any of this stuff. And I'm also not here to tell you to stop going to the doctor if you've been I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to stay away from that. I think I've done a pretty good job at, avoiding telling you, like, you got to stop. I think it's a pretty common knowledge that eventually if you're going to accept that this is anxiety and you want to move past this, that you're eventually going to have to stop seeking so much reassurance and start accepting and believing in yourself and trusting your body. Okay, and for the longest time, I just didn't trust my body. I didn't trust my heart. None of it. Okay, so this is the first thing. I want you to think about your symptoms in terms of pain. Now, I know some of you have some really painful symptoms. I had some that were really painful, but there was also a huge component that was the fear, the unknown. So I could have a dull ache all day in my chest, right? And a lot of you can relate with this. And let's be for real. Maybe that dull ache is a 2 or 3, maybe a 4 sometimes, out of a scale of from 1 to 10. You can use the 1 to 10 scale. What's the other portion that makes it feel like a 10? Because it feels like a 10. Well, if I'm going to be 100% honest, it's the fear component. So you can use that to gauge things, right? How painful is this really? If I'm going to be 100% honest, right? So using that scale. And I started to think, well, if this is more based off of just like, I don't know, and what if this is the start of something, and like, I'm just scared of it more so than I'm actually, I can't breathe, or the pain isn't so crippling, you know what I mean? Well, then there's a decent chance, especially whenever I was in the cycle, that this is anxiety, it's tolerable. Yes, it's annoying and frustrating, but what's the big deal here? It's fear, the unknown. My catastrophizing. What if it turns into this? Or what if it could be that? What if I ignore it and it gets worse? That's my negative thinking. That was something that, I had to continuously work on. But that could help a little bit, okay? Does it solve everything? No. This is something else that you can start doing that I did off and on, especially towards the end. And, this is something that I've used, post, anxiety. Compare it to some of the worst things that you've been through. Sicknesses, illnesses, pains. I've broken my arm in half. I've gotten stitches where you could see my skull right here. I've had really bad abscesses in my teeth. I just don't have good genetics when it comes to teeth. I'm one of those people, it doesn't matter how many times I brush or whatever. I just don't have good enamel or whatever the hell it is. So I struggle with that. So I'll get these abscesses, and guys, if you've ever had those, man, you get this big old painful bubble, and you can't sleep for days. You can't sleep for days. Horrible pain that's just gnawing at you all day. Horrible. Had this happened to me on and off since high school. So those are horrible pains that you can compare things to. Ear infections, I had really horrible ear infections since I was a child, chronic ear infections. I've gotten really sick, really dog sick quite a few times. Okay, so I've been through, and I'm just naming a few things. I've had a lot more pains than that I could compare things to. Is it as painful as that? No, then I'd think that a heart attack might be a little bit more painful, than me being dog sick, I'd think that a seizure would be a little bit more pressing or serious than, my ear infection or something like. So I just started to compare some of those things, and some of you will use this and it'll be helpful. I just started to compare what I was feeling with my anxiety, or whatever, sensations, symptoms. I looked to gauge how much was it, pain, and how much was it fear. And then I compared that to some of the worst things that I've dealt with. Here's another thing that you can do to help you determine if this is anxiety or not. Is this as bad as some of the other moments that I've had really bad anxiety, right? Is this as bad as those moments? So you could do this with your chest pain. Well, this chest pain ain't as bad as it was when I had anxiety for the first month. Okay, well, I was fine then. Maybe I'm okay now. Again, I'm not talking directly to you. I'm just kind of giving you an example of what I, would do for myself. You could just start comparing the amount of symptoms and stuff to some of your darker times with anxiety, and you can say, hey, would I rather have that or this, right? Okay, I think I'd rather have this, okay? So it's still way better than that moment when I thought I was going to die or pass out, or I ran to the ER, called the ambulance, right? Or called, just was in turmoil all day, right? So that's another tip that you can use. That's just a good tip in general to put you in a better mood, is looking back at some of your worst times and just realizing, like, I'd pick now more so than the beginning of my anxiety. So that'll just help in general. Then you got to have a set of rules. I've made some videos about this in the past, but I'll mention it again. Again, these aren't your rules. These are my rules. I'm not telling you directly what to do. I'm giving you some ideas, some inspiration, hopefully. So for me, am I bleeding? You know what I mean? Obviously, if I cut myself or something like that, that's serious, right? Now, am I bleeding, through my stole? Am I bleeding whenever I cough? Am I vomiting blood? Am I vomiting? Am I super nauseous? Am I losing a lot of weight? Everybody's different. Some of you are going to say, well, I am losing weight. Some people lose a lot of weight with anxiety. Some people throw up with anxiety. Some people are nauseous all day. I didn't have that nonstop whenever I had anxiety. So if that just starts happening to me, that's probably a good indicator that something could be wrong, or at least that'd be very new to me with anxiety, and I'm going to get checked. You see what I'm saying? This is why it's different for everybody. Am I bent over in pain? Okay, that's really serious. I'm bent over in pain, because whenever I've been bent over in pain in my life, I needed medical attention for those things that I mentioned earlier. Funny enough, in those situations, I didn't have anxiety or too much fear. I just knew my arm needed to be put together again, right? I knew that I needed antibiotics for my abscess. I was just in pain, but I wasn't sitting here, having panic attacks. There wasn't really a known thing about it. The problem's here. Let's try to find a solution. So that was a rule. Another rule, this rule covers a bunch of things. I'm not going to do all the bad crap that I used to do. Again, these rules are great when you experience something new. I'm not going to jump on Google. I'm not going to play that game. It's going to give me a bunch of little seeds up here that I don't want to be planted. I'm not going to do the focusing. I'm not going to push, poke, massage. I'm not going to body scan and look for it all day. I'm not going to do all the crap I used to do. I'm not going to avoid. I'm not going to create any new associations. None of that. And I'm also not going to go down that path of catastrophizing about it and assuming the worst case scenario. We have changed. We are doing different things now, right? We are trying to grow. Okay. And this is something that will keep me in a good place post, anxiety. But this is a great way to start working towards recovery, if you still have anxiety. So I'm not going to do any of that. Now, here's the part where we're all different. If I'm dealing with something that's a little out of the ordinary and it's been going on for a week or so, maybe I'll then make the decision to get checked out. Obviously, if it's more painful, then sure, I'll probably do it faster. But I can't come up with that time period for you. You see what I'm saying? So you need some rules. Make some rules today. Put it on a back of a business card and stick it in your wallet or your purse. get it laminated, whatever you got to do, and have that. So hopefully that helps. And then the other big part, guys, and this is the part I can't force you to do either, is to let go of control. You got to let go of control and realize that sometimes bad things happen, that these things, you know, it is inevitable that our time here is limited. But I became more afraid of not living than dying. I preached that on this channel, and I'm going to let go because I do not want to, you know, be afraid every single day for the rest of my life. You know, I'm more afraid of years and time going by that I'm stuck in this hell with anxiety, and I'm going to regret it at the end whenever the inevitable does happen, when I do actually get sick. You see what I'm saying? So big part of this is letting go of control and realizing that life is too short, right? Instead of being, you know, overly fearful of that, I'm going to be more fearful of this time going by. So hopefully this video helped, guys. Again, use code TURKEY to save some money on my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp, down below in the description and in the first pinned comment. Subscribe, guys, if you are new, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.